Okay, going to the number 4 pick, I'm going to select the player that I thought you were going to take at number 3, and I think you thought I was going to take at number 2, and that's Logan Cooley of the Arizona Coyotes. He's going to be playing in that second-line center position, maybe even first-line center by the end of the season. He was drafted 3rd overall in 2022, so he's 19. He's a year older than the first 2 players we selected as our Calder favorites, Connor Bedard and Adam Fantilli. So he has that going for him. Not as physically developed, just 5'10", 174 pounds, so about 10 to 15 pounds shy of Bedard, depending on where you look for that. But this player tore up the NCAA last year. 22 goals, 38 assists for 60 points in 39 games played for the University of Minnesota. That's an NHLE of 92. Once again, I need to put a disclaimer on that. Not saying that I think he'll get 92 points, but it's just a valuable number to rank him relative to other players. I will say this. Logan Cooley, I think, should be the second should have the second highest odds to win the Calder, at least in my opinion. But the reason I picked Fantilli over him is just solely their production last season, where Fantilli, as a player who's a year younger, had better production in the same league and is more physically mature. So I was hoping that we could get into that, discussion between whether we think Cooley or Fantilli will have a better season. The reality is they're both going to be great players. But yeah, I'm taking Logan Cooley in the number 4 spot. Case, what do you think about that?
Yeah, well, that is who I had at number 2 originally, but I kind of shifted at the end. I think something that sketched me out is that he's on the Arizona Coyotes, and they kind of have the tendency to drop the ball in situations, and I really hope they don't. I think a lot of the outcome of this season for him is going to come down to where they're playing him, and if they're playing him on the second line, and right now I think he's practicing on the second power play unit. It's like, this is a guy that you got to be giving every situation you can and give him some weapons to play with. He looked good in the preseason. 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 games. One of those goals was special. And yeah, I mean, we're going to get a lot of exciting hockey out of him in the years to come. So, and this is another guy, this guy, just like Bedard, is going to try to be the MVP of his team this season, not just the Calders. So I think that right away, Cooley is, arguably the best player on this team outside of a Clayton Keller. So right away, he's going to be expecting a lot of it out of himself, and he's going to be in the situation where he's going to be giving a lot of opportunities, at least I hope.
Yeah, he's a player who has incredible vision, great hands, can score, has that nose for the net. You just wonder if maybe the size and strength of players at the NHL level will be a problem for a player who I don't want to say is undersized, because he's not. There's so many players who are his stature, 5'10", and his weight around 175, who are successful in the NHL. It just worries me a little bit, and maybe for that reason I could see him taking another year or 2 before he is at that elite level. However, it wouldn't surprise me if he won the Calder. So
I wouldn't be shocked if he wins the Calder, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he has the path of a Jack Hughes, where the first season wasn't it, the second one maybe not even, and then 100 points or 99 points. Well,
exactly. And I guess what people would say to that in favor of Logan Cooley is that he took a year off, whereas Jack Hughes went straight to the show. Enough. So maybe that year benefited him. I mean, like, clearly he dominated the NCAA last year. Not as much as Fantilli, which is why I picked him number 2. But I think Logan Cooley has a legit shot to win the Calder.